Welcome back to another installment on solving linear equations. In this series of videos, we would learn to calculate the value of a variable, right? Let's get started. So in the first problem, we have negative 11 plus x equals 9. Given the above equation, what's the value of 20 minus 11 minus x, right? Now there's probably an easier way, and then there's probably a slightly difficult way to do this problem. We have negative 11 plus x equals 9, right? Then what we have to solve is 20 minus 11 minus x. What do you see right away is you can do it two ways. You can add plus 11 on both sides, which would give you x equals 20, right? So that means it's 20 minus 11 minus 20, right? So that would be negative 9, and plus 20 is 29. This is one way of doing it. An alternate way would be to also make a substitution. This is probably the easiest of the two, but some of you may not think immediately in that direction. So what you could also do is, if you multiply, you have this equation, right? If you multiply by negative throughout, then this becomes 11 minus x equals negative 9, right? So you can make a direct substitution for 20 minus 11 minus x. 11 minus x is negative 9, so 20 minus of negative 9 is 29. You see, we got the same answer, but this is method 1. And this is method 2. You pick which works best for you, and you can use that. All right, let's go to the second problem. If 33 minus a equals a plus 27 minus 5a, what's the value of 33 plus 3a? Now, this is kind of similar to method 2. You're not asked to solve for any value. You're not asked to solve for actually a and then substitute it back in. That's not what the question is asking, because if you see 33 minus a equals a plus 27 minus 5a, right? If you, on this side, you have, if you simplify this further, it's negative 4a plus 27, right? If you add plus 4a on both sides, it becomes 33 plus 3a equals 27. So you don't have to actually solve for the value of a and then substitute it back in to determine if it is 27. By just shuffling around the terms, we could end up with 33 plus 3a as 27. So that's an easier problem, but just another way of doing things. So here we have half of x plus 3 equals 3/4 minus x. When we learned fractions, I told you, when you have fractions on both sides, work on one side first and try to simplify it as simple as possible before you end up trying to finish up the problem, right? What it does is it eliminates the chances of you making an error, right? So here's how you do it. So we have half of x plus 3 equals 3/4 minus x, right? So what it literally means is x over 2 plus 3 over 1. I'm just solving the left side. So 2 is a common denominator. So it's x plus 6, okay, equals. Similarly, 3/4 minus x over 1, which is same as 3 minus 4x over 4, right? So we have x plus 6 over 2 equals 3 minus 4x over 4, right? So we can cross multiply, which would give us 4x plus 24 equals 6 minus 8x, right? So if you add 8x on both sides, it becomes 12x. And if you add negative 4 on both sides, that will become, what is it, 6 minus 24, right? Which would be negative 18. So x is equal to negative 18 over 12. This is 2 9s and 2 6s. This is 3 3s and 3 2s. So it's negative 3 over 2. Now, if you have plenty of time available at your disposal, you're welcome to go ahead and substitute this negative 3/2 into any one of the expression in both the expressions for the value of x and see if they equal each other. I bet it will be. So now this is the problem with having 3 problems in the same screen is I didn't realize I had 3 problems. I just used as much space. So this is 3. So let's go ahead and do 4 and 5 here. Or actually, I can even do 4 in the space here. So we have x minus 3 minus 2x plus 4 minus 5x equals -7. What's the value of x? So again, when you have brackets, you got to be careful how you multiply the negative. So it's x minus 3 plus 2x plus 4 minus 5x equals -7. So we have -5x plus 2x is negative 3x, and plus x is -2x, right? That's what it means, right? And then we have -3 plus 4 is plus 1 equals -7. So -2x equals -8, x equals 4, right? All right, let's do the final problem. If 3/4 of a number decreased by 20 is equal to 82, what is that number? Again, 3/4 means it's 3/4, right? That's what 3/4 means. If you're not sure, if you're not used to this sort of terms, then 3/4 means 3/4. And we don't know what the number is, so for now, let's call it n. 3/4 of a number decreased by 20. So 3/4 of n decreased by 20 equals 82, right? In other words, 3n over 4 minus 20 over 1 equals 82. If you take 4 as a common denominator, that's 3n minus 80, right? Equals 82. So 82 times 4 is, 82 times 4 is, that's 328. Equals 328. So you can add 80 on both sides. So that's 408. So 3n equals 408. N equals 136. That's the number. You see? So maybe in this case, it's not so much the expression itself. For some of you, you may struggle with what is 3/4. 3/4 is 3/4. Okay. 3/4 of a number decreased by 20 is equal to 82. And that's what this is. From there, you solve for the value of n, and I did, and I got 136. 2 and 3/5 of a number equals -26. What is the number? This is interesting. First, let's write what's 3/5. 3/5 is 3 over 5. And 2 and 3/5 means this is what 2 and a 3/5 looks like of a number n equals -26. So you can solve this first before you proceed further. So it's 5 times 2 plus 3, that's 13 over 5. N equals -26, right? So 26 times 5 is 130. So 13n equals -130. So n equals 130 by 13, which is 10, I believe. So it's -10. That's the answer. Okay. There are 142 students in a high school band. These students represent 2/9 of the total students in the high school. How many students attend the school? We don't know how many students attend the school, so let's call it n, right? There are 142 students in a high school band. These students represent 2/9 of the total students in the high school, right? So how do you write that into a expression? So there are 142 students in a high school band. These students represent, so if you say what is it? 2/9, right? So 2/9 of n, okay, equals, what is it? 142. That's what it translates to, right? We don't know how many students are in high school. We call it n. So 2/9 of n corresponds to 142 students, right? Those are the ones that are in the band, right? So what is n? So that will be, what is it? 142 times 9 divide by 2. So there are 639 students in the school. These are the total students in the high school. Okay, and there is the answer. All right, this is an easier problem than they make it out to be, at least from the sheer size of how many letters, how many words and stuff are there. So you're given a expression 820C plus 380R equals 4,360. The above equation models the amount of calories in a snack of C cups of cashews and R cups of raisins. The amount of calories per cup of cashews is 820 and the amount of calories per cup of raisin is 380. According to the equation, how many cups of raisin are used if 3 cups of cashews are used to make the snack? That's very simple. All you have to do is substitute for whatever the value of cups given for cashews into the expression containing C. So it's 820 times 3 plus 380R equals 4,360. So that will be 820 times 3 is 2,460 plus 380R equals 4,360. So subtract 4,360 minus answer and divide that by 380, which is 5. So 5 cups of raisins are used. So the answer is 5 cups of raisins. And that'll be the end of this video. Thank you for watching. I'll see you with another video. Until then, stay tuned.